Fire and brimstone continues on day 2 of the winter session of Parliament. Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu has flatly refused to entertain the opposition's demand that the suspension of 12 unruly opposition MPs be revoked. Venkaiah Naidu has said that there has been no apology or remorse shown by these unruly MPs over their conduct in the last session of Parliament, the monsoon session on the 11th of August to be specific, where they vandalized the House. The opposition has categorically rejected any demand for an apology from the suspended MPs. Rahul Gandhi tweeted, "What should we apologize for?" The opposition has termed the suspension unfair and unjust. The government has said that if suspended MPs seek an apology as per the rules, then talks can be held and a deliberation could be arrived at. The suspension notice says that the MPs showed utter disregard to the authority of the chair and persistently abused the rules of the House. It also called the attacks on security personnel intentional. Opposition MPs staged a walkout from the Rajya Sabha today after this heated face-off when the Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge sought a scrapping of this suspension order. Some opposition parties want to boycott the entire winter session in the Rajya Sabha. However, the Congress says it is not keen on the boycott as it would give a free run to the government to conduct business at its will.
Today we met him personally, entire opposition leaders, and requested him to withdraw this suspension. And after that we already raised, our leader of opposition already raised this issue. Because of rules of procedure, as per rules of procedure, this type of suspension is actually, we cannot expect it. This is against the procedure and rules of procedure of the Parliament itself. Last session may something happened, then you are suspending this session. It is quite unnatural.
The suspension of any member, there are two parameters which have to be adhered to. Firstly, the naming of the members by a chairman is required prior to the suspension. Only thereafter, the motion of suspension of members so named can be moved. However, yesterday the motion for suspension of members was moved by the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs for their alleged disorderly conduct which took place during the previous session. In the present case, none of the 12 members had been named on that particular day, bringing forward a motion to suspend the members months after the day of occurrence of alleged disorderly conduct is not in order.
Right, sir.
We requested you to revoke it, and it has been done selectively. There are some members nothing to do with this, but this incident happened in last session. How can you take this?
These people on 10th August go through the proceedings of the House. The deputy chairman made appeal number of times. Sometimes even took the names also. Later also it was in the bulletin also it was published about the people who are engaged in this act. You try to mislead the House, you disturbed the House, you ransacked the table, and you also throw the papers on the chair, and also you have got, some of them have gone down to the table, and then you are giving me lessons. You are giving me lessons. So this is not the way. The motion was moved, it was approved, action is taken, it is final. If the members who have committed this sacrilege against the House, they have not expressed any remorse. On the other hand, they are justifying. And so I don't think the appeal of the leader of opposition is worth considering. I am not considering it at all.
टेबल नाचने के लिए है, हाउस मार्शल को मारने के लिए है, हाउस विशल ला के बजाने के लिए हाउस है। और इतने करने के बाद भी हमने बार बार ये कहा, आप क्षमा मांगो, आप पश्चाताप व्यक्त करो कम से कम। नहीं, हम नहीं करेंगे। ये क्या डेमोक्रेटिक एटीट्यूड है क्या? ठीक है, हमने किया है, आगे नहीं होंगे, ये एटीट्यूड है ना? ये एटीट्यूड देश अभी स्वीकारता नहीं है। जी राहुल गांधी शुड अंडरस्टैंड दिस, श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी शुड अंडरस्टैंड दिस।
ये माफी मांगने का तो सवाल नहीं है। एक दूसरा क्या है, किस ढंग से उन्होंने सस्पेंड किया है वो रूल्स रेगुलेशंस बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्शन रूल्स के खिलाफ किया है। तो अपोजिशन की मुंह बंद करने के लिए उनकी जो पोल खुलेगी वो नहीं खुलना, इसीलिए सारे अपोजिशन पार्टी को उन्होंने सस्पेंड करने का निर्णय लेकर सस्पेंड किया है।
Democracy must be restored. BJP is killing democracy. There is lawlessness. There is तानाशाही. ये मोदी शाही तानाशाही नहीं चलेगा. People will teach them the lesson.
Their numbers are not in their favor in Rajya Sabha. So what they do, more often than not, they manage numbers. And in this case, what have they done? They have suspended 12 MPs. There is this bill, which is about privatization of public sector banks. They know that the entire opposition would be united. So this is actually playing with the numbers and taking this route of unruly behavior, the facade of unruly behavior, that doesn't go down well.
100% तानाशाही है, इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं। आप मुझे बताइए, पिछले सत्र की कार्रवाई इस सत्र में कर रहे हैं आप? पिछले सत्र में जो विपक्ष के सांसदों ने आवाज उठाई किसानों के हक में या पेगासस के सवाल को लेके, उस पे कार्रवाई अब आप इस सत्र में कर रहे हैं। और अगर उसको आप अपराध मानते हैं तो मुख्य अभियुक्तों की सूची में मैं था, प्रताप सिंह बाजवा जी थे और कुछ सांसद थे। उन पे कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की आपने? क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश और पंजाब में चुनाव है।
Kamaljeet Sandhu reports from Parliament on this situation that's getting very, very heated up now. Kamal, where is this headed? We're only on day 2 of Parliament. Tempers have already flown to maximum levels right now. Many opposition parties looking to boycott the entire session of Parliament. We're only on day 2 at this time. Everyone has dug in their heels on both sides of this, very ill-tempered divide. What next?
Shiv, you've hit the nail on the head. It's day 2 and acrimonious behavior from both sides. So what we've seen is that the Congress as well as the opposition seems to be divided on what next to do. Because remember, the Congress has been pointing out that if a free run has been given to the government, they will pass all the bills, because remember, they don't have the numbers as far as the upper house of the parliament or the Rajya Sabha is concerned. The other opposition parties, however, say that this is an undemocratic measure which has been taken by the government and hence need to be boycotted, not just for a day, but for the entire session as well. Also saying the Rule 267, something should have been done in the last session and not in the winter session of the parliament. So there seems to be a divide as far as the opposition is concerned. However, the opposition seems to have boycotted it for day 2 at least. We'll have to see how really this pans out, but the tone and the tenor has been set from day 1. We've also seen the likes of Rahul Gandhi now tweet saying, why should there be an apology to raise a public issue? Clearly, the opposition is up in arms, especially pointing out that this is simply not done, whether it's regarding the debate and discussion on the repeal of farm bills. They've been demanding a law on the MSP, trying to put the government on the back foot. However, it seems that the Modi government seems to be comfortable, one, because they managed to pass the bill in both the houses yesterday, in Lok Sabha first and subsequently in Rajya Sabha. And today also, the parliament is going on. And what is important is, despite the hangama, despite the ruckus, what we've seen outside the parliament, however, the government has also taken a very hardline stand. And we've seen the chair of the house, Venkaiah Naidu, saying he is not going to concede. It doesn't seem that the opposition seems to be in any mood to apologize. And hence a hardline stance has been taken. And now what we know is that there would be no going back on the decision as far as the members, the 12 members are concerned, and the suspension is concerned.
So the way it's all looking right now, it looks like we could be facing another big washout in Parliament. Kamal, thanks very much for that. Why were these 12 MPs suspended? Akshita tells you. Here are the charges against them.
Here's what the government's charge sheet alleges. Here's the government's version of events. They're saying that Congress MPs tore papers and threw it at the House table while they gathered at the well of the House. Besides that, the government has also alleged that CPI and Shiv Sena MPs had snatched folders that were kept on the House table and then started throwing them in the air. A Congress MP, according to the government, also recorded a video of the security staff of the marshals who were present in the Rajya Sabha when things were going haywire. A TMC MP MP, again according to the government, blocked the Parliament Affairs Minister from entering the chairman's chamber. When all hell was breaking loose, many of these ministers were seen heading towards the chamber. According to the government, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister was blocked, and that TMC MP had also resorted to hooliganism. A Congress MP climbed onto an LED TV stand very close to the chair, and according to the government, a CPM MP even choked the neck of a man marshal. There was a lot of chaos that broke out, in which, according to the government, 2 Congress MPs also assaulted a lady marshal in the well of the House. So these are the allegations, according to the government, on exactly what transpired, and it's based on this that 12 opposition MPs have been suspended.